Hi guys, this is Jason Williams, DO. This is the Williams Family Medicine Channel, helping you to live your best life. Today I wanted to talk about intestinal function and its relationship to other chronic inflammatory diseases. In the past 30 years or so, it seems like there has been an explosion of autoimmune type diseases. One could argue that this is because we have improved detection of these diseases. Many other people think that this is related to the type of food that we are eating. There may be many other factors at play, including food additives, stress, other environmental toxins. I wanted to answer this question a little better because these autoimmune processes affect many of my patients. You should start with the premise that many of your immune system cells reside in your intestines. The integrity of the intestinal cell layer is very important in regulating things going into or leaving the intestinal area. You have a few barrier type of protective mechanisms, such as a gel adhesive mucus layer, immunoglobulin A, antibacterial peptides, and tight junctions between the enterocytes, or the cells that line your intestines. There are multiple different protein components of tight junctions between the cells, and these have been studied quite a bit recently. If the intestinal integrity is compromised and things can escape the intestines or things can come in the intestines that are not supposed to, this can trigger immune reactions. In another video, I have spoken about celiac disease, which is an immunologically mediated immune type reaction that results in significant other disease processes, as well as impaired intestinal function and malabsorption. Targeting the intestinal barrier then seems like a logical type of response and way to either prevent or treat disease when it occurs. I read a 2018 study that compared celiac disease and inflammatory bowel disease. These conditions are both similar in many ways. What they were looking for was what the rates of tendon inflammation were in both of these conditions, monitored by ultrasound. The conclusion of the authors in this study was that gut permeability was affected in both, meaning if the lining allowed things to come in and out inappropriately, then disease resulted. There are a couple of other items that seem to be important in intestinal barrier function. I wanted to address one of those now: advanced glycation end products. We've looked at both exogenous and endogenous advanced glycation end products. Advanced glycation end products seem to be associated with aging and damage. They have also been noted to interfere with intestinal barrier function and cause dysbiosis, or an imbalance of the bacteria in the intestine, damage the tight junctions between the cells, and also interfere with the expression of the nerves that transmit impulses from the gut to the brain. When sugars are heated with proteins and amino acids and even lipids, advanced glycation end products are produced. High temperatures at a long time period seem to promote this in foods. High processed food diets are very high in advanced glycation end products. Think of barbecued chicken, broiled chicken, fast food hamburgers, microwaved hot dogs, fast food French fries. Thankfully, most of these exogenous advanced glycation end products are excreted and have limited bioavailability to affect your body, but it has been shown that they do affect microbiome, the balance of the bacteria in your gut. Endogenous advanced glycation end products seem to be more significant. Think of glucose and fructose being metabolized through a process called glycolysis. This results in metabolites that degrade. These degraded metabolites react with unbound amino acids and form advanced glycation end products. You can get a double whammy with glucose and fructose, as they interfere with intestinal absorption as well. They enhance absorption. Unfortunately, glucose and fructose also enhance gut permeability, resulting in cross-migration of things in and out of the intestines. Other items also seem to be important to the intestinal barrier function, and these are in the category of food additives. The author of the article that I read ranked certain food additives and made a list of those that seem to be responsible for increased intestinal permeability and dysfunction. The list of these food additives that interfere with the intestinal tight junctions include sugar, salt, organic solvents, nanoparticles, emulsifiers and surfactants, gluten, and microbial transglutaminase. Microbial transglutaminase imitates tissue transglutaminase. We order an IgA blood test for tissue transglutaminase when we are trying to diagnose celiac disease. These are very similar, and you can see why these might trigger celiac disease in people. A June 2015 article indicates that in westernized societies, incidence of many health problems has increased over the past 3 decades. I'm going to read from a list of some of the conditions that they noted to increase markedly. These include multiple sclerosis, diabetes mellitus type 1, inflammatory bowel disease, systemic lupus erythematosus, primary biliary cirrhosis, myasthenia gravis, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, rheumatic diseases including rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, and Sjogren's disease, bullous pemphigoid, and celiac disease. In this article, they also compared countries with their adoption of the use of food additives. Those countries that seem to more quickly adopt food additives seem to have a greater rise in these inflammatory autoimmune type diseases. In the same article, they also noticed a pattern of the type of autoimmune inflammatory diseases and ranked them from smallest to greatest growth in incidence: rheumatic, endocrine, gastrointestinal, and neurologic. This suggests that the neurologic disorders have exploded in incidence compared to the others. Processed foods and food additives seem to be a problem. This evidence seems to support the fact that we are harming ourselves with what we are doing with our diet. Our intestinal barrier is supposed to protect us and help us to prevent problems and developing these chronic diseases. This barrier seems to be under attack from many different sides. If we consider our diet high in gluten, high in sugar, high in fructose, and high in other food additives, we are exposing our intestines to a barrage of insults that ultimately can result in chronic disease. Much more research will be done in these areas, but for now, with this information, I would try to avoid processed foods, high sugar containing foods, fructose foods, and honestly, in many people, even gluten containing foods. If you're my patient, I hope you found this information useful. If you're not my patient, please see your own doctor for diagnosis and treatment. This is Jason Williams, DO. This is the Williams Family Medicine Channel, helping you to live your best life. Take care.